am popping in today with a Marketing Monday. But now we've already made it to December, we need to start thinking a little bit about 2020 and how we're going to plan out our next year. And for me, that always starts with a bit of an audit of where I'm at and what I need to do. So I thought today, for the 9th of December, it would be a really, really good idea to go through an annual business audit with you and help you to just take 5 to 10 minutes to make sure that your business is on track. And if it's not on track, what you need to change in the next couple of weeks, days, months, so that you can make sure that you can have awesome success. Because ideally, the plan is to work smarter and not harder next year. I don't know about you. Hands up if anybody actually wants to work harder and and have less time and make less money. I don't think so. But if we can get in a position where we're actually doing the things that make us the most money, doing the things that make the biggest impact with least effort, not only are we going to enjoy our businesses and we'll have built a business that does everything that we want it to, because ultimately we're entrepreneurs, we've set ourselves our business, and we want to make sure that actually we have a life. If your business is your life, we've got a problem. The whole point of that is to give you the money and the skills and the opportunities to actually have the most awesome life you can possibly have. So let's have a quick run through of your business. And I'm going to work through my system that I call the 6 Ps. Oh, don't know what's going on there. The joys of doing these things and recording them live. So I want you to pull out a notepad and a pen because we're going to do a little bit of brain dumping. I'm going to ask some questions and you're going to make it absolutely awesome for you next year. I'm going to move me over there. Okay. So let's go on to the next slide. So the first P we need to look at, of course, as always, is planning. So how did you plan in 2019? And how did it go? Yeah. Did you plan on paper? Did you try 100 million thousand different systems like me and decide that actually the simplest one is to just have a notebook and a planner? Do you need to change that? Did it work? Did it not? So what went to plan? So take some time to just ask yourself these questions and get them down. What went well? What didn't go well? Yeah, and what lessons did you learn around your business plan that you're going to take or change in the next year? For me, for example, like I learned that if I'm going to do another one of these planners, I need to really plan. I need to really make it happen a lot earlier. Although next year will be much simpler. I know exactly how to do it this year. So that will help. Other lessons that I learned was that I did genuinely, even though I tried to manage my time better, I wasn't as consistent as I wanted to be. So I'm looking at how I can plan to make it simpler and more consistent, which is why I've changed up how I do these videos. Because on a Monday, I used to come live in my group, the Equestrian Business Support Network, and every Monday I do a Marketing Monday live, a bit like this, where we'd go through something to do with your business. But I found that it was really draining. It took me away from my family on a Monday night. And while I love doing it and I love working with everybody, it just wasn't ideal for me. So I've decided to trial for the next couple of months that I'll do a video like this. And then on a Friday, I'll pop in live and we can cover any questions that came up from the video, if anybody did it, or if anybody's got any other questions. So we'll just have more like a wind down Friday with a Q&A sessions, or like Q&A Friday or something like that. So then we look at personal development, and this is one of the main keys for me in business, and I don't think people prioritize it enough sometimes, but you need to make sure that you've got a plan for mindset and personal progression. So what did you improve in yourself this year? So take some time to work that out. What do you need to learn in the next year? What skills do you need to keep or update? Yeah, and how can you make sure that you stay sharp so that you actually show up at your best? And this is really key, because sometimes, especially for us entrepreneurs, we end up with an awful lot of stuff to do. I end up with the biggest to-do list on the planet. And then I can quite easily get into this. Well, I've got to get everything done. I've got to get all this done. I've got to get all this done. And then I work earlier and I work later. I sleep less. I don't sleep well because I've got all this stuff going through my head. I feel tense. I feel stressed. And actually, that's counterproductive. It gives me more time when I'm like wasteful because I can't focus properly. I can't do the job properly. So actually, how can you stay really sharp and show up at your best in the next year? What do you need to put into place? What do you need to change? I was talking to somebody earlier about their planning, and because I've released a version of my planner that you can download like the next month for December, and you can start planning to see if the system that I've got works for you. And she said actually once she started to do that, she realised that she hadn't been putting in any time for lunch. Now, right now, I said, well, if it helps you just to look after yourself better in the next year, it is worth absolutely every penny, because it's so important. Without you, there's no point doing your business. It's got to serve you. You need to be on your best game. And actually, the purpose of your business is to make your life ultimately easier, because it's to bring you more money so you can do more things, you could outsource more things, and so you can just live better in general. So how can you make sure that you are prioritizing the things that make you stay sharp so that you can show up at your best? So take some time to, as we go through, you can pause the videos and you can write down these questions, and you can just have a page for each of these sections and work out what works for you. So next, I'd like you to look at like your products and your offers and your services and what you were doing there. So how were the things that you were offering to bring in income and revenue in the last year? What worked best for you? What brought in the most revenue? And go and actually look at your accounts. You might find they surprise you. You might find that you made more money doing something that was easier. So you could do more of that in the next year, and then you won't feel so tired. You might find that like I did, I thought, I did a really bad year. I didn't hit some of my financial goals that I wanted to, and I knew I didn't throughout the year. But actually, when I looked at the figures, I 3x'd my income. Right? So I didn't have a bad year at all. So sometimes you need to go and have a look at that and see what products, what offers, what services you're delivering that's bringing you the most income. And also look at like what's costing you to deliver as well. Because if you find it might bring you a lot of money, but if it's actually costing you a lot in time and effort and energy, you might find that you do better to ditch it. Yeah, so really have a good look at your products. Also have a look at anything that you need to innovate in the next year. What needs to change? What needs to improve? Because if we're not constantly up in our game a little bit, and we just settle for what we've got and think that's fine, we might find that technology changes, systems change, and soon we're left behind. I mean, look at Blockbuster Video. They never saw Netflix come in. Do you know what I mean? But if you're constantly innovating and thinking of new ideas and new ways that you can do what you do and do what you do better, it will make sure that you stay on top of your game. So look at your products. Is there any offers that you need to drop? And what will you do more of going forward? What do you want to sell more of? So that's your next bit. So just go back to the last slide so you can have a little look at those questions again. So take some time to actually look really closely at your products and your offerings. And you might need to ditch a few. And I plan to do that myself very, very soon. So then look at your promotions. So this is where you think about all your marketing, all the stuff that you are doing. And again, by looking at what you did last year and pulling out what didn't work, pulling out what took too long and wasn't easy, and and made you not do what you wanted to do, that's going to make it even better for next year. It's going to help you to stay more consistent because you're not spending so much time thinking about it. So what worked best for you this year? What didn't work well in your promotions? What did you like? You might have done an advert in a magazine and actually found that didn't work very well, but you might have done a press release and that worked really well and got you more sales. So what should you do more of Yeah, so have a look at what really worked. What should you do more of? Because if something worked for you, you need to model that and you need to do more of that and less of the other stuff. What new marketing things do you need to try over the next year? Do you plan to actually use your email list if it's sitting there and you're not really doing anything? Do you actually want to start doing that? Do you need to actually take your email list and look at the conversion rates and look at the subscribers and make sure that you're actually getting people opening them? And if they're not opening your list, you need to take them off your list, because if you want really good, loyal people, get rid of all the people that are just causing you problems in your deliverability and in your open rates and stuff like that. So do you need to re-engage or to grow your following? Do you need more people on your Facebook list, or more people in your email list, or more people just in general knowing about you? So how are you going to reach out at that? Do you need to do adverts? How are you going to find those cold people, bring them in and keep sort of building that relationship? So then we're on to more promotion stuff. Yeah, so looking at your website. So do you need to look at your website? What needs to change on the website? Does it need a tidy up? Does it need a clean? Are you inviting people to work with you regularly? Are you looking at your insights and your statistics? So that could be looking at your Google Analytics. That could be looking at your Facebook Analytics. That could be looking at your LinkedIn insights. All of that stuff. Actually start looking at it and just have a actually, you might find that a certain blog post did really well last year, so maybe do some more like that. Or you might find that that you get more if you get more from video when you put a video or a live or something like that. So have a look and see what's working, and then make a note to remind yourself to do more of that, because if you're prioritizing that, it's going to make life a lot easier. So you can also look at where are your ideal clients actually likely to be now. Has that changed? Are they going to be in different groups? Where are they? How is that adapted? And make sure that you're doing stuff for them too. And looking at are you getting the reviews and the testimonials, and are you getting the feedback from people on what you're doing, and using that to your best benefit. The next step that you want to be looking at is going over all your pricing and anything to do with money and finance. So this is all about the money. So have another sheet of paper and start just brainstorming what's working at that. So do you need to put your prices up in the next year? Do you need to look at that? Are you making enough profit? And are you doing that so you can get enough profit? Do you need a better system for accounting? Are you doing it all on a spreadsheet or a paper, or do you want something that makes it just so much easier so it's all in one place? Do you need to upgrade your money mindset? So do you need to find somebody to work with to make sure that you're not blocked in any way around money? And of course, have a look at what you're spending your money on. So pull out your bank statements and go through, are you using everything that you pay for? Is there stuff that's coming out of your account regularly that actually you don't really need, or it's a waste of money? And maybe cancel those things off. So have some time to really look through your money, or at least to think about your money. Then I want you to look at processes. Now, processes are the systems and the stuff that we do regularly in our business. And if we've got these systems and processes in place, we're going to work much more efficiently, and life is just going to be easier in general. So have a look at what systems you've currently got in place. Could you pass on any jobs with ease? That's quite a good question for me, is to actually go, could I outsource my blog posting to somebody really quickly and easy? Have I got that written down how I want it? Have I got something there so I can tell somebody how I want it done? Have I taken the time out to think about that? And have that documented. You can just keep that in a Google sheet or an Excel sheet, or you can record videos like this this is recorded in a platform called Loomly. And Loomly is something else entirely. Loom, which is a Chrome extension. So you can record how you do stuff, and then you can save that to a file. And then when you need to pass it on, you've got that. So you could teach somebody without actually having to sit down and do it. Because when you get busy, you haven't got time to think about these things. So if you are experiencing a nice lull in your business pre-Christmas, great. Use this time to do this. If you're really busy, put this off to when you know you're going to be quieter. So where do you need better software? Where do you need things to save time? Which processes are quite labour intensive that you need to find a better way, and start to note those things down. And how are you going to track new or old processes better? Do you need something to just keep a list of those? Do you need a folder or a book or a notes, or do it on Google Docs or Sheets or whatever? So how is the payment processing that you've got going on? Do you need to update that? Are you actually following up and bringing the money in? Because if you don't have a process to follow to make sure that you're actually doing the invoices and you're getting paid, you're going to really struggle in your business. So how is that process? Is there anywhere that you could automate? Could you make sure that you send emails out easier? Are you managing your clients and your customers well? Could you improve the onboarding or the follow-up or anything like that? Because I think there's always room for improvement in our processes, and just taking some time to get them all down will really, really help us. And looking at the processes that you've got for your marketing, and does that work? Do you need it simpler? Do you need to make it easier for you? You could look at your contracts and your terms and conditions. Do you need to update those? So I hope that's been useful for you. I hope you found that this was a really, really useful sort of time to go through that, and you were able to just look at your business and to reevaluate a little bit more. So if you'd like some more help on this, please do get in touch with me. Or if you haven't already, have a look at my website. I'll pop a link in the comments, and I've got a free mini course where I help you to build and grow your business. You get links. I send emails out to anything that I do like this, so you can get on board and learn new stuff all the time with me. And of course, please leave me your questions and your comments, because I do love them, and I will come back and answer them. So I hope this has been useful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. And as always, I will be up live on Friday with my question and answer session in the Equestrian Business Support Network. See you later. Bye.